Look at this. Tonepriest cleaned up a little bit. I only have a small pile of tools now. Everything's within arm's reach. Good old hackle right here. What are we going to do today? I was thinking I wanted to spiff up the King's Xbox. Haven't given this a name yet. I'm thinking BB King used the Lab Series L5 as well. So I was thinking about calling this the BBX Rex. Get it? Here's where she's at. I did get some rubber feet for it. It's pretty badass right there. Thank you, Bezos. Got some little condoms for the switches. But these washers are friggin' ghetto. So we need to get rid of those at some point. And I got some finish washers for the top. So I'm going to have to get in there and lower those down so the finish washers fit. They screwed down as far as they screw down and they don't go any further. But I don't feel like doing that today. But what else do we got? We'll get a package in from Bezos. Got this bad boy here. What I want to do with him is on my Magnetone combo. It's got a beautiful Jensen 15-inch concert speaker. I'll put in a couple of jacks with a switch. And that way I can make it, because it's closed back, you can't just, get in there and get at the speaker to use a different amplifier or head without all unscrewing it and shit. I'm thinking about installing that, and I got some screws to put these in, but Tonepriest wasn't paying attention, and this is what he ended up with. Hang on. Hi, friend. Thanks for your order. Please let us know immediately if there's something wrong. Or if you have any questions. Yeah, there's something wrong. These suckers ain't going to fit. These are obviously the wrong screws. They look a lot bigger in the picture. But I should have known better. M1.7 is the biggest screw. So yeah, I should have known better. But I was thinking, hey, maybe I can fix some of my knives. But even the biggest one is too small for knife repair. I have quite the collection of knives. I work at a car auction, and as a consequence, I kind of stumble across these things that would otherwise end up in the trash. So I do have a bit of a collection of knives. That's a partial selection of my collection. Oh, you see what I did there? Selection, collection. Good times. Anyway, what the hell are we going to do today? This is the newest one I got here. I like this one. This is one I take when I bring the dog for a walk. Yeah, this is the dog walking dagger. It's not a weapon, it's a tool. It's my tool of choice for self-defense against all the friggin' neighborhood retards. Well, I probably would have done, ooh, look at that, either one of these projects here today, but I can't find where I put the finish washers. I swear, there's gremlins in the tone church here stealing all my crap. They're probably the same place as the chassis screws for the Basic Man. So we'll put that one on the back burner. That one, yeah, I gotta dig that amp out of cold storage. I'm not in the mood for that. So, I was thinking, I tried the King's X pedal. The BB Rex X, I guess we're calling it BBX Rex, with some of my tube amps with the Basic Man and the Bassman, and it just I mean, you can use it like the boost function and stuff to make it, and it sounds okay, but that's kind of using a hammer to kill an ant, and that's not what this preamp is all about. And it makes sense, using a preamp to go into another preamp. So what we need is a nice, strong, clean power amp. So I'm thinking it's time to service the Rhett Shull amp. That I believe it has an effects loop, and it's should have a nice bit of loud, clean power. So yeah, let's do it. And that video seems to be popular, probably because I put the name Rhett Shull in the title, but no clickbait here. So let's do that. I'm cleaning up the tone church here, trying to get organized, and wow, I think I've built enough pedals to make a friggin' Beato style.
Beato's elaborate that?
Yeah.
Why? What's going on? Oh my god.
Pedal wall.
Pedal wall.
I would pick Slash over Mustaine, but I'm out of my element here. I've never listened to a Megadeth. And I'll say this, I'll never listen to a Megadeth record.
Need a bigger power supply. Yeah, cool. This is the OKKO Diablo. This, my old power supply blew this sucker up. I think there's a diode floating around in there. I need to fix that. Maybe we'll do that today. Instead of the Rhett Shull amp. That might be easy. That's the Mxr Phaser. That one sounds awesome. Got a blend knob. Good stuff. The PCPK. Great sounding pedal. Love that one. This is a, what is it, a Rev something or other, something 6. I think I need to get in there and bias the transistors. You can tell it wants to sound good, but there ain't something, there's just something that just is not quite right. Clone. Callan-Brad Formula 5F6. What the fuck is this thing? Oh, that's a, Boss Chorus. Reverb, delay, depth. That is a Ghost Echo. Who makes that? Earthquaker? That's with the... Or is it? I'm not sure what it is. There's a belt and brick in there. But that's got the... my buddy, who believes all the typical cliches about guitar bullshit, tone wood, and fucking the fancy chips. I made a real... Ghost Echo with the fancy chips, and this is the one I made before it, and I kind of like this one better, but whatever. I'm sure he can hear the difference. Ross compressor, sounds awesome. Very noisy, though. Boss octave pedal, tracking sucks. What the heck is that? DOD 280 compressor? I use that on bass a lot. Or, no, that's a Big Muff, sorry. I always get that confused. Here's your DOD. Use that for bass compression sometimes. This is the Angry Charlie we just built. Electric Mistress. I have no idea what the fuck this thing is. Yeah. Oh, it might be another Ross compressor clone, but the it's not really a clone. The circuit is different than this one, and yeah, this one, yeah, it's better, in my opinion. Better for me. Tremulous Loon, or whatever it's called. Awesome tremolo pedal. Put that in a Home Depot plastic J-box. Ghost Echo, Rat pedal, another one in the plastic. All the ones I build in the plastic boxes come out great. Should do that more often. Anyway, Rat pedal. Tried different chips in there, and the old school chip that the original Rat used is the one to go. One to use. No idea. Couldn't tell you. So yeah, I built a few. Hey, where the fuck is the Tube Screamer? First pedal I ever built. The freaking Gremlins got it.
Oh my gosh! Did somebody leave something out?
They're hoarding all my gear. And then these are the pedals I bought originally. Off the shelf stuff, and they're all inexpensive, but they're all decent. This is a really decent delay pedal. If you need a bunch of delays and you don't have a bunch of money, that's a good one. And I bought this one when I needed reverb for some of these amps that don't have reverb. It sounds okay, it's usable, but I basically use it now to split the signal when I want to go from mono to stereo. So that's what I use that for now. An expensive wah pedal. Very good, and you got selectable shit over here. And this guy here, I haven't used him that much, but I think he was good. You get a little bit of everything for just a little bit of money, so it's good. We got this guy here. I'm sure we can put to good use at some point. Alright, so I grabbed a milk crate from my landlord's junk pile, and that's where these are going to go. This thing's been a shelf in my room for a year and a half now. I got all the junk off her, cleaned the top off, and yeah, this thing doesn't need a handle. It needs a fucking crane shackle. Yeah. Alright, let's do this. This thing is a beast. Look at that, I can't even get the whole amp in frame. Yikes. Back in the day, I worked for a company. We built industrial and commercial vehicles. And one of the trucks we would build for the train companies. This is like we'd take an F-350 and on the front and back we'd have hydraulically operated train wheels so they could lower them down on the train tracks and they could drive on the train tracks. That's what this thing needs. This thing is a beast. Alright, let's get medieval on it. SG system, singular, not plural. SG system. This isn't an amp, this is a system for tone domination. Alright, here she is. I got all the knobs and crap in a box. Most of them. This is going to need to be replaced at potentiometer. And when I test fired this thing, when I bought it, the phaser wasn't working, but I think it needs the pedal to be plugged in for it to work. So we'll check that out. I don't have the pedal, so we'll be creating something for that. And here are the guts. Goodyear blimp view. Yeah, good times. I believe this is the phase shifter portion of the program here, and then yeah, everything else. Good stuff. Alright, so last time I was in here I checked all the electrolytic caps and they were all way off. So I did buy replacements for all the electrolytics. Hopefully I can find them because that was a couple months ago. Otherwise this video is about to end. Alright, let's find those caps. Good news! Just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico. But I also did find the bag of stuff for this amp, so there will be a video, hopefully. Unless this thing blows up in a blaze of glory. Shadows. Light. Alright, let's go. Alright, so I'm coming up with a plan of attack here. And it looks like this board right here is going to need the most attention. And so with circuit boards, there's two ways of doing this. There's the right way, which is to remove the circuit board and desolder the components, clean it up, and then install the new ones. And then there's the ghetto way, which like you could clip the lead right at the capacitor. So if there's, the big leg of the lead is still sticking out, make a little loop and then stick the leads from the new capacitor in there and wrap it around and do it that way. Doing it like that means you wouldn't have to remove anything. But that's kind of ghetto. The problem with removing circuit boards and why I hate circuit board amps and the way a lot of manufacturers make stuff is you got wires going under, over, and around. But actually, this doesn't look that bad. You may only have to remove a few wires to get access to the underneath of the board. So, yeah, we'll do it the right way. Well, we'll start trying to do it the right way, and we'll see what happens. Alright, progress report number 1. Get all the screws out of this board. We've labeled polarity of the capacitors, the electrolytic capacitors we're going to remove. We've labeled the color codes of the wires we've removed, and we've removed, hopefully, enough wires to get access to the bottom of the board. Alright, so now the fun part begins. We've got the first spray item out of the board. 100 microfarad at 350 volts. Looks like 39th week of 1973. 1973, baby. That was a great year.
This thing is a beast. Oh my god. It's an absolute monster. It is a monster.
It's not looking too bad. She's just starting to bulge up here. You can't really see it.
That's what she said.
But I assure you it's there. And that discoloration's from the goop they put on there. But, yep. Time for an upgrade. 73. I'm sure the tone none feels the same about her 1973 item. The replacements for the 100 micro at 350. Oh, Jesus. What'd you do? Yeah, money was a factor at the time. But they should be fine. They're new. They'll last a couple of years, hopefully. Maybe. Alright, here's the back of the board. And as you can see, these traces seem to be very fragile. So we're using the wick to clean up the old solder. And if you're using wick, a lot of times it helps to just use a Q-tip and put some flux on there, and it works beautifully. So if you're having problems, there you go, pro tip. Alright, I set up the action cam. Thought this was a pretty good shot here. So we cut the electrolytic capacitor out of the top of the board, and we got a leg sticking through a hole in the circuit board, and that's this guy right here. So we're going to reheat this solder, and we're going to make sure it's nice and hot and loose before we start tugging on the leg, because we don't want to pull the pad or the trace out. Pull him out, and we'll get our wick, which I added a little bit of flux to with a Q-tip, and like that. Bam! That's all she wrote. And then while we're here, I'll show this as well. We'll get our isopropyl alcohol. This shit used to be like, this would have cost $1,000, you know, a year ago. Apply it to a Q-tip and clean up all the old flux and gunk. And just about ready to accept a new capacitor. Good times. Okay, so now we're going to put the new capacitor in. What I like to do is center it between the two holes.
That's what she said. Don't you dare.
And then with my these type of pliers, needle nose with rounded tips, whatever you call it, I will figure out where I want to bend the leg, and then for these it's going to be a nice big I guess you'd call diameter bend, so I'll use the thick end of the pliers, and that's how we'll bend the leg, and it'll look nice. You'll see. Hang tight. I know the camera work is awesome here. Okay, as promised, our nice smooth round bends on the legs, and we'll stick it in. I'm doing this one-handed here. Stick it into our circuit board, like so. And I'm going to have to find something to prop this up so it'll fit in nice and straight and parallel and perpendicular and all that. And you always want the stuff, the information facing in such a way that the next guy down the line can read it. 100 micro at 350 volts, and that's showing from the top of the board. Alright, so we're going to prop this up and solder her in, and it'll be one down and about 84 more to go. Alright, so we're going to try and do this solder work up to NASA spec. And on the underside of the board where you we're going to bend the legs, and the bend is going to follow the trace. I know this is a bad camera angle, but that's what we're doing. We're following the traces with the bend. We're going to clip them a little bit shorter, obviously. And then we're going to solder those suckers down. Bam! There they are. First two. Looking pretty sweet. Kind of like the color of those ICs. Guess that's important. Here's the back. Hopefully you can see that. Probably not. And we'll clean up the old flux and solder with some alcohol, and we'll move on. Good times. So I'm thinking if I need to replace these capacitors here, and I've got my ESR meter hooked up, and we have 68 ohms measured. So the little chart here doesn't really help us out, so what we're going to do is measure it against a brand new one. This is a 0.02 at 600 volts. This is 0.022, I think, at 630 volts. Yeah, you can't read that, but yeah, what I just said. So let's throw that on the meter and see what we get. So the one in the amp was at 68 ohms, and the brand new one is at 81 ohms, and they're roughly very close in value. So we're going to say, yeah, she can stay. So let's replace this electrolytic. That's not there anymore. Alright, so it seems like my shopping skills have been suspect for a while now. We need 3 1,000 microfarad at 35 volt capacitors. I did buy 1,000 micro at 50, so I got one of those, but it looks like I bought these, which are 1,000 micro at 16 volts. We need 35 volts, and I believe that's these guys here. So we're getting 25 volts off of this secondary tap. So yeah, that's not going to cut it. So looks like there's going to be a part 3 to this video. Got to order some parts, but I'll continue on. We'll do some more work, and we'll do everything we can, or until you know, the sun goes down, and then we'll put in another order, and we'll get all the good stuff. And I might actually not replace this guy now, because I think I got an IC or a cheap Chinese brand. If I'm putting in another order, I may as well buy something nice, since money is less of an object at the moment. So yeah. You know, and it seems like I was very thorough, but I just do not have anything in my stash that would be appropriate for that. But whatever, this is what it is. Alright, we started filling our cart over at Mxr Electronics, and yeah, definitely gonna wait. I got some nice Vichets. So those should be good. Where does it say Vichet? Hopefully I got them. There they are. Pardon me. But $7.99 we're already paying for shipping. That's a little steep, especially when Amazon exists in the world, but you can't get this crap at Amazon. So we'll probably order some more stuff for some other projects. I'm thinking of, yeah, I think we need to build a Univibe, so we'll probably order the parts for that too. Got a couple of little guys here, 47 micro at 16 volts. Our little chart says 47 micro at 16 volts should be 1.6 or less, and we're double that, so these guys gots to go. Okay, I think I'm going to end part 2 here. It's getting late. And it's just going to be more of the same. Just removing old capacitors and putting new ones in. But here's the work so far. A couple there. One there. One there, one there. We get a couple of here. And so we're just going to go through this and service her up. And then it's going to take about a week for the new parts to show up. So in the meantime, I'll put this video together, and yeah, looking forward to firing this bad boy up. This sucker is a beast. Can't wait. And I'm hoping it'll work good with the King's Xbox. And then we can, you know, the long-term goal, we'll get a nice King's X cover video up on the channel, and yeah, we'll definitely get at least 20-30 views on that. Alright, so that's it for now. We'll see you in part 3. Rock on.
Done!